And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Weird tales. Do we like to tell strange stories around here? And the answer is, well, yes, we do. It's another game, and there's quite a few of these games out there that is about telling stories. This one adds special powers. I don't know if that's in any of the other ones. It hasn't been in any of the ones that I have played. But let's look at how you play Weird Tales, how you tell a story, and we'll be right back. There are two decks of cards in Weird Tales. There's your regular deck of cards, and then there's a deck of the end cards. And these are the endings to the story. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to shuffle these and draw one. And that's the real reason why elephants scream when they see mice. Or a shot rang out, and then there was total silence. But it bounced right off the wall, and that's how he became a vampire. And every year on that day, they walk around in clown shoes, and justice was served. So you pick one of those. And then everyone has a hand of 5 cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these cards will have different things on them. You can see the artwork is very cartoony. I got a Viking, a noble, a witch, give me all your money, and quiet. And on your turn, you're supposed to play a card and then tell a story about it with at least 5 sentences. So I say, once there was a Viking who lived in a forest far away. And this forest was as normal as all the forests that you might see, except that the trees were made out of peppermint. It wasn't that big of a deal. People didn't really notice it, except when it rained, any house that was built from this peppermint wood got sticky. And I can stop there, and it goes to the next person. And the next person might play a card, Castle, and they'll say, but the castle was the stickiest building of all. And the king there was really irritated about this, and he wanted real wood. So he sent the Vikings out on a journey. And so, it just keeps going on, and one Viking didn't want to go, and so he was told, don't be a chicken, blah, blah, blah. When you say the cards, you put the card in your own pile and you get a score. Now some of these cards have +1. The rules don't say what to do with these. But I'm assuming you play this with another one, so I would play these together. A quiet witch, etc. And you play them. Other cards, after you're done playing it, you do the action on it. This one says, for example, exchange 2 cards from your hand with another player. When you're done playing your card, you'll draw a card and get your hand up. But just some quick showing what's in this airplane jungle. An embarrassing moment. Gentle, a battle begins. A cabin, draw, send in the cavalry, boat, grandmother. Most of this stuff, some of these like cursed, and this is a -2, and you put this in someone else's pile. Off with your head. We're going to be rich. So there's all different things that you're going to notice in the course of this game. Funny stuff mostly. And after a certain number of rounds, so the rules tell you, let's say you're playing a 4-player game, after 5 to 6 rounds, then when someone thinks they can end a story, they just end a story, somehow sticking that sentence in, and if they do so, they will take that card and stick it in their score pile. Now, whenever you say a story thing, if everyone else agrees that it doesn't make sense, there's no way there's a door there in a spaceship or whatever might happen, then people can vote down your story and you don't get to keep the card that you've just played. So the story has to make sense, I guess. Even though this is Weird Tales and, you're coming across all sorts of odd things that aren't going to make sense anyway. But we were switched at birth. I mean, how many times is that going to fit into a story? But anyhow, whoever has the most points in their score pile at the end of the game is the winner. You can also play some other variations. There's a card here that you can put in the deck called Stop. And when you put this in the deck, then everybody has to play using only the cards in their hand. They don't draw any cards, and after everyone's done playing their cards, the story is over. Alright, Weird Tales for me is another storytelling game. The problem with this kind of storytelling game is, especially with this one, is, like I said when I was going over it, how do you tell if something is legal or not? Because everything can kind of be put into the story somehow, somewhere. I like the artwork, special abilities, whatever. It's fun. The best storyteller doesn't necessarily win in this game, but it's reasonable, and it's certainly something that could be used for creative exercise in classes. But let's see what my kids think. What do you think?
I like this game because I like to tell stories, but I kind of need to stay on the subject.
And there is cards in the game that tell you, who, what, where, when, why, and how to tell stories, but I digress. Go ahead.
I like how they give you funny things like Viking, vampires, old grandmother. I just like the different categories or people cards. Also, but I don't really like how you only get one word and like how long should I keep on talking because sometimes I cannot stop talking.
Yes, we know. All right, next, Amy, what do you think?
I think it's cool, and I remember when we played the old man. Speak up, I can't hear you.
Oh, what?
I speak up, I can't hear you.
Okay, fine.
When he was on the phone. Well, I like the game. It's very fun and weird tales. I couldn't catch up where I was going, just like Melody said, and I think it's fun.
Okay, now, Amy manages to kill almost every character in every story that we tell. I don't know why you want to kill all the characters.
I am.
Oh, you are? Oh, you're weird. Or are you an X? You're weird. Well, we understand that and we know it. All right, it's a storytelling game. I think this one is more pointed towards kids than anything else. They'll like the special abilities. They'll like it. If you're a teacher in elementary class, this might be something you're interested in. Weird Tales.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.
Yeah.